What is up, guys? So right now I'm actually waiting for my plane. The plane leaves at 9:30. It's about 9 o'clock right now. So just waiting for the queue to die down, and then I'll just hop onto the queue and board the plane. Looking forward to this Hong Kong trip. I'm actually going alone. Alright, I'm actually traveling really light. Okay, just carrying like one luggage and my bag, just like over this, like this.
Since it's the circuit breaker period, I finally have the time to edit this video that I actually shot some time back last year. So last year I actually came across some reports and videos about the situation in Hong Kong, and being someone that is pretty curious, I reached out to some of the activists in Hong Kong to find out more, and eventually decided that it would actually be best for me to meet up with these people in Hong Kong. This is their story.
So right now I just reached Hong Kong. Nothing to be. Oh no, okay. I'm going to find some good food to eat right now. Just came out from immigration. Just looking around at what kind of options I have to eat. So just take a look and then I'll update you in a moment. Okay, so right now I'm at the bus terminal. I'm about to board the bus, taking bus A21. Before I do that, I have to first buy a ticket. So let me need to find a ticket counter. That's what the guy told me. Okay, so right now I'm gonna meet Oliver. So
Oliver is someone that I actually came across on YouTube, where I first saw his viral video in which a group of policemen were surrounding him while he was basking. There were also some videos of him being approached by the police, where it seems like he was being told to stop basking and actually told to leave. Some of these videos actually also included people that were actually cheering on for him and singing along with him. I thought it would be great to actually have an interview with him. So I actually reached out to him on Instagram and he agreed to meet me.
Is there a need for a license to bask in Hong Kong?
No, you don't need a license.
You don't need a license. Okay, so what exactly did the police want from you?
Okay, so I'll be honest. That whole scene that you saw, 4 or 5 police vans full of cops, it happened before many a time. I think now people are starting to notice that there is some sort of suppression of freedom of expression. But there was one time I went out to bus out in the streets, and all of a sudden I got tear gassed. I just remember it was one of the scariest things, to be tear gassed out of the group. Physically, I was okay. Eventually, I was okay. But then, I remember when I got on the way home, I was just very upset because I just wanted to make music. So I'm with I stand with Hong Kong, I stand with the protesters, never with the police.
500 people came here to support her because we don't want to separate each other. We think that we are all together to support the democracy.
其實而家個情況咧就係一個外籍嘅傭工啦，因為翻譯一啲反送中嘅一啲新聞，而俾呢個入境處去遣返翻去印尼。咁但係同時佢喺羈留嘅期間都係對入境處啦，對佢其實有啲不人道嘅對待咁樣。咁我哋要正視翻呢個情況啦，其實要對所有嘅人啦，要有嘅人道對待啦。咁同埋我哋所有人其實都有人權去爭取自由同民主嘅。咁所以我哋希望Erik都可以翻到去印尼嘅時候，都可以好好地生活啦，或者可以繼續爭取民主，繼續關注我哋嘅民主狀況咁樣咯。就咁樣先。
Taking the Hong Kong MRT, they call it MTR. Looks just like Singapore's one.
Yeah, actually today is kind of community singing
for anti-government protests to promote tomorrow bigger protests. So that's why they gather together, youngsters singing about how they feel about the government, what kind of like frustration targeting Hong Kong police. So it's kind of like I can say it's a peaceful protest. At the same time, they look forward to tomorrow bigger protest with the officials organizer.
Okay, so right now I'm at Causeway Bay. This is the start of the protest. So like in front of me you can see a huge crowd of people, and behind me you can see a police formation in case anything happens. But every single street is blocked down. Yeah. So you can see many people around me. Here, but just now they were playing the Glory to Hong Kong, the song that was created just for this protest, and the crowd is actually really huge. Like I haven't seen an end to the crowd yet. The situation seems to be in control. I don't see any police around.
So one thing you notice is that people actually bring along their American flags and even their democracy flags or their own party flags.
Just an update, you can see everyone jumping behind me. So I'm not too sure where this is going to end, but they're all I can't really see the end up to now. It's really far, and it seems like we'll just keep walking straight all the way. Yeah, you can see that all this was just recently spray painted on. You can smell the freshness of the of the paint is still on here. Oh, this insecticide refers to the tear gas that they use. And yeah, it's still probably pretty fresh. Oh yeah, like you can see over here. Yeah, pasting posters. I think they weren't really happy that I was recording them just now, so I stopped recording. So what they do is that like they have many people covering using an umbrella, and then there's a person using a binoculars looking out for the police on the other side. Yeah, so as what I was saying, they use the umbrella cover, so if you look in front of me, you can see them there spray painting. So as you can see, they're all helping each other by covering everything up. So it's all covered by umbrellas. Their two main chants in English are "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong," and also "5 demands, not one less."
Fight for freedom! 五大訴求！五大訴求！
So every single time we walk past the overhead bridge, when the overhead bridge has policemen like this, for example, the crowd will get really angry and will start chanting at them. So in front of us is actually a swarm of policemen on top of the overhead bridge. So they're all scolding the policemen in Cantonese. Really unhappy with the police. They're actually using laser pointers to point at the policemen. With everyone pointing middle finger at the policemen. You can see everyone just pointing at them. A lot of them using umbrellas to cover themselves to protect their identity. So as tensions are rising over here, you can see people actually moving towards the police, their police fortress, and actually going to scold them. There's even a woman standing right in front of the police right now. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. So right now we're at Admiralty Centre. So just positioned outside of here, it's actually a whole swarm of policemen. So I can see that there's a lot of ambulance out here which is ready in case anything happens. So in front of me are police armed with rifles, tear gas, and of course there are barricades to prevent protesters from rushing in, because I think what they are doing is that they are actually protecting the entrance towards the main road. So police is sending warnings by blinking the light at them, but in response the protesters are actually also shining light back at them. So we can see a protester actually provoking the police by doing this. So this is a sight that we saw just now too, because the police did that to the protester at the other exit. So the police was like doing this, but in this time actually the protester is actually doing back to the police by telling them to come, and even doing signs such as like this, or like many different signs that actually are here to provoke the police. Oh, they're warning tear gas. So they have just sent a warning tear gas. So warning tear gas. I'm not sure whether you can see. So warning tear gas ready to be fired. So I've been here for like maybe like 3 or 4, 5 hours. Yeah. So I've been here for about 5 hours. So now the sky is turning dark and people are pulling out their phones to show the light. So you can see over here. You can see everyone raising their phone.
人應我，你睇下，咁啊點罷工咧？我哋，你係咪會罷工先？你會罷工啊嘛？要罷工就入工會，好冇？今晚翻去一件事，入工會。好，點樣入咧 ？Figo 可唔可以講下？
嗱，可以有兩個方法。
Okay, I'm not too sure what's happening right now, but it seems like everyone is putting on their gas mask and putting on all the necessary stuff to. It looks like they're going to confront the police. I'm not too sure what's happening. Need to go and find out. But you see, everyone is all now dressed up in all their suits and in their gas mask. So I'll probably take cover first and just see what's happening first before doing anything stupid. So what we can see right now is a standoff between the protesters on this hand over here. You can see all of them with the umbrellas against the police, which are all in front. So they're all equipped with their gas mask, ready for any tear gas that's about to be thrown. This is no messing around. Right now I'm in between the protesters and of course the police on the other side over there. So in between us is about like 200 meters. Maybe actually 100 meters, 150 meters. Oh, someone just threw a glass bottle. So they're getting mixed reactions from the crowd because I think not many of the protesters actually support throwing of the glasses. So now there's a glass all over the floor. So they're actually asking for the media to step aside.
As a university student myself, I got curious as to why some university students in Hong Kong are actually doing this to their very own country. So I set up a meeting with some of HKU students that are actually active in this protest to get their perspective and view of the current state of Hong Kong.
What's the ultimate goal, or like what's the action that you guys want to see that's done by the government?
Well, as you know, we've been chanting 5 demands, not one less. And then personally, I think the biggest demand would be universal suffrage. First is promised in the basic law. So basically it's the Constitution of Hong Kong that eventually Hong Kong will be granted universal suffrage. But then like throughout all these years after the handover, the government has proposed several reforms to the electoral systems of the Legislative Council as well as the Chief Executive. Basically, it's the leader of Hong Kong, but still, we know that it does not really, it's not real democracy because they just either enlarged the committee that chooses the Chief Executive of the Legislative Council that is made up of people who are controlled and decided by the Beijing government. So that's why we're still fighting for universal suffrage.
It looks like there's conflict between the press and some of the police members. So
咪真係輸咗先？你咩意思先？我唔噴你咪噴我先，你講清楚。係啊嘛，咁樣叫下可以唔噴啦？我而家噴你，我企邊個位你唔照我嘛？你話俾我聽，我企邊個位你唔照我嘛？開槍啦！你話俾我聽啦，我企邊個位？好，你唔同我唔照啦，開槍啦，有槍啊嘛！唔該你，開槍啦，七佬大晒有槍啊，好驚啊！你 FLC 同事話企邊個位唔照啊？
The protesters on the other side has already sort of vacated the place, and but what they left this place with was a mess. So they have tied all these things down over here. You can see the mess that they have made. All over here. You can see the umbrella. All the damage that they have just done. Of course, the fortress that they were building just now. So this is the fortress.
我哋今日和平參與遊行示威集會嘅朋友前出，請警察保持冷靜，請警察保持冷靜。
好，希望各位嚟到中環呢個終點嘅市民，請你繼續轉右向右向住海平嘅方向離開，請你急步行，係啦，唔好停留，希望大家互相照顧。
希望大家急步行，急步行。 前面藍旗啊，行快啲！
So are these actions like part and parcel of trying to publicly shame the government and like to let them know that like, if you don't listen to us, then this is what you get. So maybe we'll let them rethink their decisions.
Wait, these actions, you mean the strike?
Like destruction, yeah.
The destruction of the campuses?
Or in general, and of the.
You mean
yeah.
the destruction done by the protesters?
Yeah.
I think it's really a mixture of emotions inside, because if you think about the timeline, we can see destruction almost always happen after something that angers Hong Kong people as a whole. Like after the death of Mr. Chow from HKUST, and it's just a chain of reaction that causes so much destruction in society, like in the past week, like before the district council election. But after the council election, we have we can see that it's like a pendulum swing. We have resorted back to peaceful protest just to show the government that we can do this. We are not irrational beings. We are just human, and we are we can be angry. We have the legitimate right to be angry when the government don't care about the death of all these students, all these kids who are the future of Hong Kong, who love and care about Hong Kong so much.
Yeah, I do not exactly think that is to shame the government, because we already know that the government is shameless. Well, I think the crux of these actions, as you mentioned, sometimes admittedly it's like an reaction of anger towards certain unreasonable acts done by the government. But there are like myriad of destruction that the protesters do. So for example, sometimes they vandalize shops that are owned by mainland Chinese or people like the Maxim's owner, who has publicly voiced or publicly condemned the protesters. And I think that sort of vandalization would be trying to harm the economic interests of those sectors, of those shop owners, of those manufacturers.
Yeah.
And about other destruction, it's really hard to pinpoint what exactly I mean, but destruction as in setting up roadblocks.
Yeah, I think because in the media that is portrayed to us, right, like
Yeah.
all we see is that like oh man, like this place is destroyed. Oh, the CCTV they destroyed. Like they don't really know the purpose in what like why they're doing this. And oftentimes like a lot of people in Singapore, we feel that like sometimes these actions are actually just fueled by adrenaline-driven youngsters that really like some people, like we feel that some people don't really have like know what's going on, and they're just doing this because like of like some mob mentality where people just because you see your friend doing this and you feel excited and just want to do this because you know you won't get caught.
I think it has to do with the general discussion on the use of violence in general. All I can say is that no one ultimately wants to use violence. We only use it when we see that there are no other alternatives. So let me explain the context of Hong Kong. So basically in 2014, we had this 79-day umbrella movement, you know, we just peacefully occupied the streets, we did not use any violence. But did the government listen to our demand? Did any democratic progress happen? No. So in general, there's this hopelessness among the younger, or among protesters in general, I think, or the Hong Kong people in general, towards using peaceful means to achieve our political demands. And I think it is justifiable in a way, because it's only after the protests escalated that the international community started to pay more attention to what's going on in Hong Kong. It is as if we need something as loud as violence to make our voices heard. No one wants to